A celebration overshadowed the controversial opening ceremony of the 2025 Invictus Games. The 2025 Invictus Games began with all the spectacle one would expect from an international sporting event meant to honor the resilience of wounded warriors. Vancouver's BC Place Stadium was alive with energy, bright lights, an electrified crowd, and some of the biggest names in music gracing the stage. Katie Nelly Furtado, Chris Martin, and Noah Kahan delivered performances that sent waves of excitement through the audience, setting a triumphant tone for the competition ahead. But amidst the cheers and celebrations, a single speech turned the mood upside down. Major Noah's address to the world was not one of gratitude or simple encouragement. Instead, it was a call to action, a stark reminder that beyond the medals and standing ovations, veterans face challenges that cannot be solved by a single event. A speech that shook the stadium. A decorated veteran himself, Major Noah took to the podium with the weight of experience and the burden of truth. His voice steady yet filled with emotion, he addressed an audience that included Prince Harry, the royal founder of the Games, and countless veterans from around the globe. With every word, he peeled back the curtain on the reality so many veterans endure: chronic PTSD, homelessness, the struggle to secure proper medical care, and the feeling of being abandoned after their service ends. The battle doesn't end when the war is over, he declared. It doesn't end when the uniform comes off. And it sure as hell doesn't end with a gold medal. For a few moments, the stadium was silent. The contrast between the night's dazzling performances and Major Noah's sobering truth created a tension that could be felt in the air. An audience moved to tears. His words resonated deeply, especially among fellow veterans who knew firsthand the struggles he described. Some in the audience wiped away tears, while others sat in still reflection. The message hit hard. Were the Invictus Games truly serving their intended purpose, or were they simply a temporary distraction from the real, ongoing struggles of those who had served? On social media, reactions flooded in almost immediately. Major Noah just said what we've all been thinking. Veterans need real support, not just applause every 4 years. This speech was the most important moment of the Invictus Games. Are we really doing enough for our heroes? Hashtags like #BeyondTheGames and #SupportOurVeterans began trending, igniting a broader conversation about the effectiveness of events like Invictus in addressing the long-term challenges veterans face. Prince Harry's response: defense or agreement? Prince Harry, who has long championed the Invictus Games as a symbol of strength and healing, was quick to respond. He acknowledged Major Noah's concerns, emphasizing that the Games were always meant to highlight both courage and the ongoing struggles veterans endure. We don't pretend that the Invictus Games are the solution to every problem veterans face, he said. But they shine a light on their strength, and that light must also be directed toward real, lasting support beyond these moments. Yet, even with his reassurances, the night's atmosphere had shifted. A celebration with an underlying unease. As the musical performances continued, the contrast between the upbeat entertainment and the raw emotions stirred by Major Noah's speech was undeniable. The audience's cheers returned, but they were punctuated by moments of introspection. Conversations in the stadium corridors weren't just about the performances but about what more could be done for veterans once the cameras were gone. Some attendees expressed their conflicting emotions. I love what the Invictus Games stand for, but Major Noah is right. We can't just celebrate, we need to do more. Others defended the event's impact. The Games give these veterans purpose and visibility. That alone is powerful. Regardless of where people stood, one thing was clear: Major Noah's words had left an imprint on the night, one that would not fade when the stadium lights dimmed. A moment that won't be forgotten. By the time the ceremony ended, the 2025 Invictus Games had become more than just an opening event. It had transformed into a moment of reckoning, forcing a conversation that could no longer be ignored. Veteran advocacy groups have already begun amplifying Noah's message, urging policymakers to take stronger action in providing long-term support. Whether or not this speech leads to real change remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Major Noah ensured that the Invictus Games will be remembered for more than just athletic triumphs. So, the question now is, will this moment be the beginning of a real shift in veteran care, Or will it be another emotional plea lost in the noise of temporary celebration? The world is watching.